Centuries ago, hops were a viable crop for the Green Mountain State. So when breweries started opening and asking for local hops, it seemed only fitting for Dr. Heather Darby, an agronomist at the University of Vermont's Farm Extension program, to give it a go.
This is where it starts, and if you're drinking beer or brewing beer, hops are a very important component of that product. What we're trying to do is provide really good research-based information so that farmers have a better chance at being successful growing this crop in the state.
In 2009, Darby and a group of scientists and students started from scratch at this farm in Alburg, Vermont, near the Canadian border. They even made YouTube videos in hopes of helping future farmers learn from their tutorials.
The goal is to conduct research to try to figure out the best way to grow hops in Vermont. We have about 24 varieties out here in the hop yard, really trying to figure out which ones produce best under our climate.
When you look up at these, I mean, how tall are these hops?
Yeah, well, these are at about 14 to 16 feet tall.
So why decide to build these hop farms to begin with?
We wanted to do this because there was a demand for local hop production, and there wasn't really any research information on how to grow crops. What we're trying to do is provide really good research-based information so that farmers have a better chance at being successful growing this crop in the state.
And how many, students do you have out here working?
Yeah, well, you can hear the hustle and bustle over in the corner. We have graduate students, undergraduate students, and we have technicians as well that work for us on this project.
A lot of the brewers are using the hops that come right from here.
Yeah, so we actually will harvest the hops. We've been working with local brewers, different brewers every year, giving them the opportunity to experiment with the local hops.
So when some Vermont brewers say their beer is grown and made locally, it really is.
This is kind of an added bonus, I think, that not only are the brewers here brewing excellent quality beer, all different kinds, but they're also supporting local agriculture and trying to buy what hops are available. Switchback has used the hops. There's a new Switchback product that's out in the market that was based on the hops from this hop yard. So if people like that, that's a product of, the research.
While Vermont brewers might say the Vermont hops is leading them to make the best beers in the world, it's clear the state is also training and grooming the best brewers in the world. There are less than a handful of accredited brewing schools in the United States, and one of them is right in Middlebury, Vermont. Meet Steve Parks, the brewmaster at Drop-In Brewery and educator at the American Brewers Guild Brewing School. The great part about Drop-In is it's not just a brewery, it's also a school for future brewers. So tell me about that.
Absolutely. Currently, if you drop in, you'll find a class going on. We are training 22 people who are taking a diploma course in brewing science and technology, and they ultimately will go work in the industry once they've finished their qualification.
Parks, originally from Scotland, has been brewing for over 30 years. And when he moved to the U.S., he saw a niche in the American market for a brewer's school.
Coming to the United States to start a brewery in 1988 in Baltimore, I realized that I really could have an opportunity to make a difference to craft brewing in America.
The American Brewers Guild has been teaching future brewers since 1997. You've been all over the world brewing. Why is Vermont, or what is different and unique about Vermont?
Vermont is, I think it's not just the attitude and the knowledge and the skill of the brewers, it's the customers, it's our audience, who we're brewing for. They appreciate what we do. They are thirsty for it's pun intended, for anything new that we can create. There's passion about beer, there's enthusiasm for beer, and a lot of beer knowledge amongst our customers. And so I think it's a pleasure to brew for the audience we have in Vermont.
Ultimately, Parks is right. Brewers would not be as successful and competitive if it wasn't for you, the consumer. It's the beer drinkers who are tasting their craft and appreciating the hard work, creativity, and science that goes into creating what we all deem a great beer. So don't just stick to your neighborhood brewery. Take the Vermont Brew Tour, join the phenomenon, and find out why Vermont is making the best beer in the world. Cheers.
I like drinking and carrying on all night long. Pop that stopper, pour me a glass. When the band starts bumping, I'll shake my ask me no questions, honey. I'll be the best friend you ever had. I tried it good, but I'm only good.